Now, what is so great about the gopis' devotion to Krishna? Why is Brahmaji desiring to undergo 60,000 years of sacrifice? Why is Uddhava the greatest of the devotees in the Yadava dynasty, whom Krishna appointed as his personal advisor and whom Krishna chose to take his personal message to the gopis? So why would such great devotee like Uddhava want to take the dust of the lotus feet of the gopis? Because he says, Uddhava says, the quality of the devotional service rendered by the gopis. What is that? He says that ya dustyajam swajanam aryapatham cha hitva bhejur mukunda padavim shrutibhir vimrigyam. He says these gopis, they bhejur mukunda padavim, they worshipped the lotus feet of Mukunda, Krishna, whose lotus feet Shrutibhir Vimrigyam, whose lotus feet is to be searched out, whose lotus feet is to be known by studying the Vedas, by studying the Shrutis. That lotus feet of Mukunda, these gopis worshipped. And how did they worship? Ya dustyajam swajanam aryapatham cha hitva. They worshipped that lotus feet of Mukunda, Krishna, by giving up that which is the most difficult to give up. Two things are the most difficult to give up. What are those two things? One is swajanam, one's own relatives, one's own home. To give up one's blood relatives, one's parents, one's family, one's children, etc. is very, very difficult. Generally, we don't give up our family so easily like that. We don't reject our parents, our children, our spouses like that so very easily. But the gopis gave up all these things. And not only that, they also gave up aryapatham chahitva. They gave up their personal honor and respect in the society. They didn't bother about that. Why? Because when in the middle of the night, when Krishna is standing in Vamsivata, he played on his flute. That time, the gopis came running to him. How did the gopis come running to him? They came running to him in the middle of the night. And when Krishna saw them, Krishna said, "Oh, you all have gopis have all come. What a surprise. What a pleasant surprise. But this is not the right time to come to the forest. It's the middle of the night. So many wild animals will be there. And your relatives will all be searching for you. So now that you have seen all the forest, please go back. Don't stay here for too long. It is very risky." Like this, when Krishna started speaking, the gopis replied to Krishna. They said that Patisutan vaya bhratrubandhavan ativilangya te antyachyutagataha. O Krishna, Achyuta, we have come to you. How have we come to you? Patisutan vaya bhratrubandhavan. Pati, our husbands, Suta, children, Bhratru, our brothers, Bandhavan, and all other relatives, our parents, our father-in-law, mother-in-law, mother, father, everybody, Ati Vilangya. Langana means to jump over. Vilangana means to jump over very strongly. Ati Vilangya, we have crossed over, we have violated their instructions, we have simply jumped over them and we have come to you. Te antyachyutagatah. We have come to you. We have come near you by crossing over, by ati vilangana, by something which is unsurpassable. We have crossed over and we have come to you. Gatividas tavodgita mohitaha. Why? Why did we come to you? Not because we wanted to see the beauty of the forest in the middle of the night. But for seeing the beauty of the middle of the forest, can we ever cross over the unsurpassable bondage to our families? We cannot do that. Then why did we come here? Tavodgita mohitaha. We have been charmed, we have been enchanted by the wonderful musical notes coming from the playing of your flute. And Gati Vidaha. It is not that you don't know about this, you also know about this. They are telling Krishna, Krishna, you very well know this. Kitava Yoshita Kastyaje Nishi. Kitava. So therefore you are a big cheater. You are making a big drama. You know very well how we have come to you and why we have come to you. So you are a big cheater. Who else other than you can give up? Women who have come like this in the middle of the night, giving up their family, their relatives, bursting that dam of the family chains, coming if a woman leaves all this and comes to a man, which man can reject such a woman's advances except for the cheater that you are? Because knowing everything, you are refusing to accept us. We can see how the gopis, this is how the gopis, that which is most unsurpassable. They were stopped by their husbands, they were stopped by their parents, their mother-in-law, their father-in-law, their brothers. Everyone tried stopping them, but they did not bother about any of those things. And because they have done this, what happens? The whole world will look down upon them contemptuously. Oh, these women, they have no character. Even today, even in the Western world, even in a place like America, which is supposed to have very free morals, a boy and a girl can live together, can have a live-in relationship, marriage is not required, and all this kind of freely you can give up, you can break up, then take on another boyfriend, girlfriend, and you marry, divorce, marry somebody else, divorce. You marry one girl, divorce her, marry her mother. All these things you can do. Nobody will question. This is all acceptable. But even in that society, when you are married to one person, if a woman is or a man who is married to one person, while being married, if that person develops an illicit relation with another person, that is not acceptable, even today. Some years back, when there was a presidential election going on, there was an election for the president's post going on. At that time, normally in the United States, when the presidential election happens, the president and the vice president, both of them fight the election together. Everybody knows that we are voting to make this person president and this person vice president. It so happened that while the election hot campaigning is going on, the news came out that the vice president candidate, he is having a relationship with another woman while being married to someone else. The moment this news came out, he had to apologize and he had to resign. He said, I'll no more stand for the vice presidential election. Because if he continued, it would have been a big moral hit on the party. Nobody would have voted and 100% the party would have failed. So in order to save the presidential race, the vice president had to resign and step aside. Somebody else was again appointed, and then the election campaign continued. So even in that liberal society, most liberal society where moral values are very loose, even there, when a married person has an illicit relationship, that is not accepted. You can imagine now, 5,000 years ago, in a highly conservative society like India, how much more the people would look down upon a woman who has an illicit relationship with a man while being married to someone else. It is unimaginable, this kind of relationship in the Vedic society. But the gopis did not bother. Arya patham chahitva bhejur mukunda padavim. They said, our Krishna has called, we must go. That's it.